Let's work some wrist extension. So there are different ways that you can set this up, and that's going to make a difference depending on what you can do. I like the combat-based position, one hip open, and I'm just bringing this up on a block so you can see that as an option as well. It'll give you a little bit more feedback. Spread out your fingers. This is active wrist extension, or rather passive wrist extension, going into my flexibility, seeing how far I can go. The stretch should be here on this side. If you're feeling closing angle stuff on this side, get out of it. Find a different position. See if you rotate or continue to do your cars until that no longer is an issue. So we're going to do these with the rotational component. That's how you make a little bit more space into your wrist. Nothing else is going to move. The Pails contraction is actively pressing down into the block or onto the floor. The block, you can see some of my fingers are off, so it's not ideal, but you want to push down through the brace of your hand as if you were trying to flex your wrist into this position. Press down, build up tension 1 pound at a time. Don't gas out too early. Hold maximum effort for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, keep the brace, freeze the rest of your body, reverse. Try to peel your fingers up. Start squeezing this part of your step. Everything's pulling up. This is the rails contraction, regressive angular isometric load, and then release after your 10-second rails contraction. So Pails and rails can be down and up, but also Pails and rails can be down, turning, and then also up and turning the other direction. So add a rotational component, especially if your wrist extension is pretty flawed. Stay out of that pinch zone. You can see if I was having a little pinching, maybe I don't just come out a little bit. I come out of the stretch. Maybe I don't feel the stretch as much, but now I can at least do the Pails and rails a little bit more efficiently. Pails contraction, start to press down and rotate this way. Like I'm trying to spin my fingers. I can use my other hand to kind of guide my decision to push this way. You can press, you can put a little kettlebell here, something that'll give you some tactile feedback as you rotate. Rotation should happen here, not from the elbow. Remember, the elbow rotates, so does the shoulder. Focus the rotation on your wrist. So I'm pushing down and spinning this way. Down, this way. Just in the wrist, not in the elbow. Elbow, wrist. Small movement, no movement. It's an isometric contraction. Rails contraction, try to pull up. Since I went out of my end range, I'm actually able to lift off. You should not be able to. And now spinning the opposite direction. Ooh, that is intense. So lifting up and spinning the other direction. No movement in my forearm. If you have a wristwatch, it's really good to use. So you can tell if you start using elbow because the wristwatch moves. Hold that 10 seconds and release. Check it out. See if you can find that. Wrist cars, mandatory before and after. If you're doing them with an open grip, pretend like your fingers are in cement. You're a statue hand. I want to see this. This is not a wrist car with your fingers moving all over. You can also do them in a fist position. But if you do like to do push-ups, bear crawls, anything on your hands, you've got to work your wrist extension in this position.